Hey everybody, this is Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts. Imagine if you could find a way to not have to turn a single student away from being a part of your program. That is amazing. And we have some folks here that have figured out a really good way to try to do that. With us tonight, Scott Keefer from the Gift of Music Foundation. Scott, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
And also we have a band director who this has made a big difference in his program. David Trumbull, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, David, tell us where you're a director and how long you've been there.
I'm the band director at Carrollton Upper Elementary School. It is a 4th, 5th, and 6th grade school with a band program in 5th and 6th grade. And this is my 3rd year there, but my 22nd year teaching.
Fantastic. So this has made a big difference in your program because of the way you've partnered with the Gift of Music. Everybody, you can find out more about this at giftofmusic.org. So Scott, we're going to start with you. Tell us what you do at Gift of Music Foundation and sort of the basic premise of how this all works.
Absolutely. The original idea for the Gift of Music was, we know there are a lot of kids that get started in band programs or want to get started in beginning band programs, and money can just be an object. We know that instruments can be expensive and times can be tough for a lot of people. We also know at the same time that a lot of musical instruments are out there gathering dust in closets and pawn shops and just not being used. So we wanted to find a way to gather those instruments that are no longer needed or used and get them to the people that really do want them and use them and will love them. And so that was kind of the genesis of the Gift of Music Foundation here in Atlanta. And we've been very successful over the last 5 years of collecting hundreds, and we're well over into the thousands now of instruments that have been donated to us. And we use a program that's sort of modeled after a traditional music store instrument rental program, but it has a lot of differences because we do traditional instrument rentals for anyone that wants them, but we are the only organization around that offers free and reduced price instrument rentals, which kind of mirrors the free and reduced school lunch programs. So depending on the economic need of people and families, we can offer instruments that have been donated, reconditioned in our shop at considerably less cost than traditional music store rental, and in some cases completely rent free. We have programs where if the economic hardship is serious, we can provide the use of the instrument for the entire school year, and all they have to do is just apply again. So the idea is we don't want any kid to ever have to say, I can't join the band because I just can't afford the instrument. We've done our best to try to solve that problem by connecting the instruments that are out there in the world to the players that need them.
It's amazing, everybody. They have this amazing instrument repair shop with a whiz-bang instrument repair person who is fixing up these instruments. So this is the part I hope you all heard. You can make a donation to help. If you have an instrument, or you know anybody that has an instrument, or if you're a band director and there's instruments you're not using and you can donate them, or if you have one in your attic, like a lot of people do that they're not playing, you can send them. Go to giftofmusic.org. There's a donation place there, and you can send them your instrument. Scott, am I right that they don't have to pay any shipping even?
No, not necessarily. I mean, certainly as a nonprofit and a charity, every little bit helps. If you can pay to ship it, that's great. If you don't, we certainly will cover the shipping cost for it, whatever it takes to get the instruments here. I mean, that's what we do.
And then you fix that up, and then you can make that available to these students. And then I love this idea that you have like tiers of, if they like the reduced lunch program, they can get reduced rentals or even free rentals so that nobody gets left behind. So David, let's talk about that. How has this impacted your numbers and your students in your program?
Well, I want to back up to 3 years ago. I was using a traditional rental program through another company. And one of my colleagues, a director in my school system, our high school director, Chris Park, sent me a link to giftofmusic.org. Say, hey, have you ever heard of this? Do you know anything about it? And I didn't know. Honestly, I thought it was too good. I applied for one of the reduced cost instruments myself because I wanted to see what was going up. I did not expect it to be a quality instrument. I thought it would be a knockoff brand and not really worth anything. And instead of sending me the instrument, Scott contacted me and said, hey, we need to meet and let you see all of the instruments that we have to offer. So they came out to my school and brought me examples of all of the instruments that they do for the free reduced cost instruments, and all quality instruments, something that I would not have a second thought with my kids using in our program. And that year, I had one student who could not afford an instrument. So I had them reach out to music.org, and they got one of the free instruments. All they had to do was the application fee one time for the year, and then they had the instrument. They still are using this instrument. They're in the program, and they got it for free. I was so impressed with it that I decided to exclusively use them the following year for all of my rentals. And last year, I had a little over 130 students in my beginning band program, and not one student had to go without an instrument. It was incredible. First time in my career.
We like to hear.
Yeah, that's amazing. So for the first time last year, nobody was not able to be in. Everybody was able to have an instrument. And Scott, what I love about this is this, it makes so much sense to me. You get these donated instruments, then you fix them up so that they're really in great shape, and then you can use that. And then also the students that are paying the regular rental prices, that part of your business also allows you to help do the reduced part. Am I right about that?
Absolutely. All of our models are revenue generating. The idea is people are going to rent an instrument somewhere. So if you can rent it from us and it's the same, in many cases, brand new, brand name instruments, then because we're a nonprofit, all of the proceeds from the rentals from the people that pay full price fund the programs to help support the folks that can. So it's kind of we call it play it forward model. I'm sure that's been used a lot, but that's really what it is. It's the idea that why not help somebody else when you're already getting something that you were going to buy or rent somewhere else anyway? Why not do it at a place where you're going to be helping others at the same time? The city of Carrollton and the Carrollton school system where David teaches, I think that was important to the parents there to have a sense that they're giving something back in the process, and we're happy to do that and let those who have help subsidize those that don't through this kind of a program.
So David, your whole band community realizes they're sort of in this together now, and that this program allows them to help other students participate. Tell me how that's impacted sort of their attitudes toward everybody around them.
One example is just last week, I was telling my students in my beginning band class a story of what happened to me in 1985 when I was joining band. Wanted to play clarinet. I had started in elementary school on the recorder, and then all of a sudden this clarinet looked very similar to a recorder, and I was really good on the recorder. We couldn't afford a clarinet. So we played a trumpet that we already had in the house, and that was not my first choice. I'm glad I ended up being a trumpet player. It served me well, and it does, but not what I wanted, and we did not have the money to afford a new instrument. So I used myself as an example to my students about what happens when we're in situations where money is tight. And I said, we've all been there. I've been there. And I told my students, it's going to happen to you. All of you are going to have an opportunity to get the instrument that you want. And apparently they went around talking about this to their homeroom teachers, and the story meant a lot to the students. The fact that, even our band director had a situation where he couldn't afford the instrument he wanted. They were very excited about the opportunity that's not going to happen to them.
Yeah, David, I'm sorry. So Scott, that's absolutely amazing. Like that you guys are creating this service, first off, that every student gets to participate, and then also that you're making it viable for these families who may be struggling. And we know that being in the world of music and participating can be expensive. So I love that you're doing this. I want to make sure I understand all the different things you guys are offering there, because you do more than even just repair instruments and do rentals. What's the other parts of your program?
We do. We also have some after-school programs. There are some schools, particularly elementary schools in the metro Atlanta area, where the funding was cut. The teachers were unfortunately furloughed or let go, and some kids lost the programs they had. We were able to go in, rehire some of those directors and start up after school programs to at least get them at that beginner level, to get them started again so they didn't lose that time. And we have the same type of model there. We offer after school programs to some private schools, some homeschool gatherings and things like that. So those are folks that can afford to pay a fee for those, and that helps us fund the programs in areas where it's not as easy for people to afford it. So that's kind of the model all the way around, is let's offer something that people would pay for anyway. Let's use the proceeds of that to create benefit programs that people really need.
All right. So if you're in the Atlanta area, go to giftofmusic.org and figure out what this all is and see if it might work for you. But particularly wherever you are in the world and you're watching this, you can help with donations. And like I said, many of us have instruments that we're no longer using. They will take them, fix them up, make them really in great playing shape, and then some student will be able to use it to play and be in band. And that's what we want everybody to have that experience that we had. I love this so much. David, what would you say in closing about all of this?
If you have students that are in need, Gift of Music is going to help you. However, keep in mind that if you have students that can afford to rent the instruments at regular price, every time they do that through Gift of Music, it allows the foundation to help support other students in need. So that's why I exclusively decided to use them. So, try to help them out, and it allows them to help others.
Yeah, I love that. Scott, didn't I understand before that you had said that it's sort of like 2 regular rentals help you to afford a reduced rental? Is that right?
It's actually the other way around. 1 regular rental helps us provide 2 discounted or benefited instruments. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 model. That's what we're always trying to achieve.
That's fantastic. Scott, what would you say in closing as we're finishing this conversation?
Just that, this problem is universal. We're based in Atlanta. We're trying our best to make an impact in our home area now. Long term, we would love to be able to move this program to other cities and make it nationwide. We get donated instruments from all over the country. We've even gotten them from other countries, Australia, Canada, and I think we even got one from like Iceland or something. So we can accept instruments from anywhere. They're universal. They'll help us build our inventory. The more instruments we have, the more likely we'll be able to spread our reach. So that's why the big push right now is if you know where there's an instrument anywhere, let it come our way and let us put it to good use.
That's fantastic. So find out more, everybody, giftofmusic.org. It's the Gift of Music Foundation. Go there to make your rental, to find out more, or contact them if you have any questions. Scott and David, thank you so much for talking to me. And David, man, I hope you have a fantastic school year with all of those amazing students getting to participate.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Marching Arts Education is the home of the Marching Roundtable podcast and Color Guard EDU. We give you access to the top marching arts professionals through live webinars, podcasts, videos, interviews, and online coursework. With over 1,000 podcasts and hundreds of webinars and videos, there are hours of great professional development for you and your staff. Sign up for a membership to Marching Arts Education to get complete access to all webinars, videos, and podcasts, plus discounts on coursework. Many directors are using professional development funds through their school or boosters to make these resources available to their staff. Imagine what you could do with so many great new ideas from the top professionals in our activity. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and sign up for our newsletter to find out about the latest podcasts, webinars, and new content. Find all of this and sign up at marchingartseducation.com.